Good morning everyone and welcome to a new video here, Sublime Traders. I'm Logical Orange, and in today's video we are going to talk about the Sublime Wave Indicator, an indicator that all the Sublime Traders members have access to, that we are now going to talk about. We are going to learn what everything is in this indicator, and we are also going to talk about some strategies. So make sure you have a pen and paper so you note everything that I'm saying now, because it can in the long run create you some very good trades. So without further ado, let's go into this indicator. So you see a lot of lines, a lot of dots, waves going up and down. Let's try to make some sense out of all of this, starting with the waves, the blue and the purple waves that you see going up and down through a neutral zone of 0 that is here. You see that everything kind of resets on 0. So the waves that you see right here are basically a wave trend indicator divided into time lengths, and basically we have a leading wave trend and a lagging wave trend. So the blue is a lagging, the purple is the leading. By superposing the two, we create dots, red dots and green dots. We create a red dot when the blue wave crosses up the purple wave, and we create a red dot when the blue wave crosses down the purple wave. This also can create divergences and lines between peaks. You can see like bearish divergences, red lines, and green divergences, green lines. Now, this was the wave trend part of the indicator. Now, the yellow wave that you see moving up and down is a variation of the VWAP. So VWAP is volume weighted average price. You can also have this on a chart. It also helps you decide whether the trade is good or not. The lines that you see right here are the stochastic RSI, and of course they start at 0 and they go up to 100. If you want to be more precise with the stochastic in the Sublime Wave indicator, you can use some horizontal lines that are available in TradingView that will help you limit your range to your preferred area. For example, if I want to have 80 and let's say 30 or 20, which is a classic, I can have this like this, and then of course you can work on the visibility and create your own range basically. Now, okay, so this is a stochastic. The cloud that you see, green on the upper part and red on the lower part, is the money flow. So basically the amount of money that is flowing into and out of the market. When it's red, money is flowing out of the market. When it's green, money is flowing into the market. This is a very important part of the indicator, because it will allow us to precisely pick our trades and to estimate the time necessary for our trades. So now that we have a general view of the elements that are into the indicator, that are embedded into the indicator, let's look at the elements of on the bottom right here. So basically you have a bar that is showing you the status of the money flow. So you see you have green. It's a simplified representation of the cloud. So green means that the money is flowing into, red out of, and you also have some small triggers for your waves. The bigger the better, of course. As with all the indicators we post, the bigger the red dots, the bigger the green dots, the stronger the signal. So now let's look. As you can see, I don't have a view on the chart, so we will try to discover together the perfect entry for a long, and we will basically try to define a pattern that will always help us gain. So because I am the one that modified it, I didn't create it, I modified this indicator. I know that the pattern, the best pattern we can have is would look something like this on the waves. So I'm talking about the waves now. The waves are the most important part of this whole subwave indicator. So the best pattern that we should look for is something like this. It can be 2, 3, or even 4 small waves that go pretty much all the way up. Not necessarily, but they can go like deep towards the 0 level, and that we can plot a straight line onto. This is very important. So the pattern with 2, it would look like this, and with 4 it would look like this, something like this. Most important thing is that it should be pointing up. This is extremely important. So this is the first thing that we would look for in a trade. The second thing is, because we are trading long, we want to have the money flow on the red and near a peak or a potential peak. So we want to be on the red side. We want to be buying when people are in fear or extreme fear, you know, like you know that what Warren Buffett says, buy when people are in extreme fear. Well, it's the case with this indicator too. So second thing you need to look for is to have a pretty red money flow. The third thing that can really help the trade, but isn't always a very good indicator, it should be just considered into your priority list for trading subwaves, is a stochastic RSI. Of course, the lower the better. So we have, until now, we have 3 points. One, we need a certain formation of the waves. We need to have a red area into the money flow. The view up can also be down. And the stochastic should be on the low side, so near the 20 level, even lower. So now let's look for a pattern. As you guys can see, I don't have any view on the chart. I just can estimate what can happen, and this is just to prove that it really works without looking at the chart. You only need to have a view on the waves. They can help a lot. So let's take this, for example. It's not the perfect formation that I have talked about, so this one. However, we can plot a straight line like this, and it can work. So how do we trade, basically? Well, we need to have 2 lines that will give us a direction and a duration. So I have the first line. It basically just connects the 2 peaks, more or less. You don't really need to be on the extreme peak. It just connects the 2 peaks, 3 almost. So ascending trend line. And we have to have a second average horizontal trend line on the top. That is basically an average value of the high peaks of the waves on the positive side. So I have one here, I have this side right here, but when let's imagine I am starting my trade around here, so I don't have any visual on what happens on the right side. I just know what happened before. So before, in the left part of this vertical, I have a peak here, and one here. Okay, this is an extreme one, so I will not count that. I will just average down from this one to this one. So a vertical, I can plot a horizontal, somewhere around this level, and I will use again my trend line tool Here you go. So now what I have three important data that I can use in my trade. I have my entry, because I will wait for this green dot to happen before entering, and I will not enter exactly when the green dot plots. By the way, I am on the 4-hour chart right now, so the time is kind of long, but it's just for example purposes. So I have the money flow in the red. I have a trend line that is connecting at least 2 points, almost 3 in this case. The stochastic is somewhere midway, doesn't really matter. As I said, it's good that it should be down, but if it is a bit midway, if it's not oversold, it's okay. So I can expect an entry around this level, and now I know that my trade can last maximum to this level. Why? Because I have an average line, an average horizontal line that is based on the 2 previous peaks that I have a visual on. Okay, so it's not on this peak, it's not on this one, it's somewhere around the middle. You don't need to be extremely precise. This will only dictate your result in time, so in terms of duration. Because if I would have plotted it lower, of course the 2 lines would have connected earlier, and we would have like gained, let me try to measure. It's kind of difficult to measure with so many points. We would have gained like 1 day. Okay, so let's go back with the projection that I had here. So the second vertical, I repeat, I do not have any visual on anything that is happening on the right of my entry, because this is a fictional trade, but in reality I would not have any visual on anything happening right here. I would only see the connection of the 2 white lines that will allow me to plot my 2 vertical lines. So the time duration of this trade, the total time duration of this trade would be 10 days, because we are on a high time frame, and my take profit would be somewhere around this area. So when the waves meet my white line, I can already exit. And if I want to continue, it is simple. I just place a stop loss just below the white line, so I can project this on the chart after. But in any case, I will be in profit in this area. Okay, so we know that the trade duration lasts about 10 days. We know that we will exit probably most of our position when the waves come and meet this white line right here. So now let's see on the chart what our trade does and what our gains are. So I'm just going to drag this over like this. So we have an an entry around here, and we can exit around here if we want, or we can stop loss and continue with the trailing, and we can follow the trade. However, our time limit for this trade would be here. In any case, we already took profit here, so we don't need to care about this. This is just so you know that your time limit for this trade is X amount of time. So in this case, as you guys saw, I didn't look at the chart. I have an entry right here. I have the first take profit right here, or a protected take profit with the stop loss and the trailing. I can let the price go as much as it can go up, and I will take profit right here. So this is the main technique I use for Sublime waves. Let's try to take another example, similar example, really quickly, so I'm sure that you understand what I mean. This is looking okay. I'm not sure on what it can create. So first trend line, then I have some peaks right here averaging down to this line. My entry would be somewhere around here because I am on a high time frame and I need to have some validation, and my exit would be when the white lines cross. So another vertical here. The total trade duration can be 4 days. So red line, RSI stochastic is down in this case, which is good. The VWAP is down also, which is also good. Lines connect pretty soon, so the trade is not very long for the 4-hour chart. Let's now see what it gives on the chart. So from entry to exit, I have almost 6%. Of course, the trailing is here waiting. The price hit around this level, so we could have also taken profit here, but of course this is just part of your analysis. You need to take a look at the whole chart, see if there are any breakouts. This, in my opinion, is a very good trade. As you guys saw, didn't use the chart before, didn't see the chart before, and imagine that everything that is right to your entry vertical you don't see. Okay, so basically this is the way we use Sublime Wave indicator, and it is, as you saw, extremely precise for establishing a time length for your trade and potential take profits. However, of course, as you can see in this case, it didn't really plot what we were looking for. These are exceptional cases, and of course this indicator is not 100% reliable. There is not any indicator that is 100% reliable. However, if you know how to interpret the Sublime Wave indicator, and if you can also correlate what it says with the chart and with Sublime Absolute, for example, then you really add another tool to your trading arsenal that can really help you in the long term. So this was everything for today, guys. I hope that you really learned something new today. I know that many of you asked for explanation on how to use the Sublime Wave. Well, now you have it. I hope you will use it and you will profit from it along with Sublime Absolute and every indicator we have posted for our members. This is all for today, guys. Thank you for watching and have a great day.